Have you ever noticed how much of your peace depends on people who don't even know they're carrying it? Maybe it's a family member who keeps making the same mistake, a friend who refuses to listen, a partner who never seems to change. At first, you tell yourself you're only trying to help. You care. You want the best for them. You see where their choices are leading, and you hope you can spare them the pain. So you explain. You remind. You encourage. Sometimes you argue. And when nothing changes, you try again. Most people never realize what is happening during this process. They think they are fighting another person's bad habits. In reality, they are fighting reality itself. Because hidden beneath all that concern is a quiet belief. My life would feel better if this person became different. That belief seems harmless. It even feels loving. But over time, it creates a strange kind of prison. Your mood rises when they improve. Your mood falls when they don't. Your peace becomes tied to a journey that does not belong to you. And without noticing it, you begin living as a spectator in someone else's life while neglecting your own. The Stoics understood something most people spend years learning the hard way. You cannot build inner peace on foundations you do not control. The moment your well-being depends on another person's transformation, you hand away the keys to your own freedom, when care turns into control. Very few people wake up one morning and decide to control someone else's life. That is not how it begins. It begins with love. A father worries about his son. A wife worries about her husband. A friend watches someone they care about make the same destructive decisions again and again. The concern feels natural, maybe even necessary. After all, what kind of person would simply stand by and do nothing? So, the advice starts. A conversation here, a reminder there, a suggestion offered with good intentions. Nothing about it feels harmful. Yet something subtle begins to change. The focus slowly shifts. Instead of accepting the person as they are, the mind becomes attached to who they could be. And that attachment changes everything. Conversations stop being opportunities for connection. They become attempts at correction. Listening becomes evaluating. Patience becomes expectation. What once felt like support starts carrying the weight of a hidden demand. Please become the person I need you to be. Most people never say those words out loud, but they feel them, and so does the other person. This is where many relationships begin to suffer. Not because there is a lack of love, but because love quietly becomes mixed with control. The tragedy is that both people often believe they are doing the right thing. One is trying to help. The other is trying to protect their freedom. And the harder each side pushes, the further apart they drift. The hidden cost of fixing others. The greatest cost of trying to fix other people is rarely visible. It does not appear all at once. It accumulates quietly. A few minutes of worry become hours. Hours become days. Days become years. You think about what you should have said. You replay old conversations. You imagine future ones. You search for the perfect words that will finally make everything click. From the outside, it looks like concern. From the inside, it feels like responsibility. But there is an uncomfortable question hiding underneath it all. What is this effort actually producing? Many people feel exhausted because they are carrying problems that were never theirs to solve. They spend so much time monitoring another person's progress that they stop noticing the absence of their own. Goals are postponed. Habits are neglected. Dreams sit untouched. Not because there isn't enough time, because attention is being spent somewhere else. The modern world makes this even easier. You can worry about people all day without ever leaving your phone. A message, a post, a status update, Another reason to become emotionally invested in a life you cannot control. The Stoics saw attention as one of the most valuable resources a human being possesses. Where attention goes, life follows. And if most of your attention is trapped inside someone else's story, your own story slowly begins to stand still. That is the hidden cost. Not that they fail to change, but that while waiting for them to change, you stop changing yourself. The Stoic realization. At some point, every person reaches a moment where they must face a difficult truth. Not everything that affects your life belongs to your control. This sounds obvious, yet most people spend years resisting it. They try to influence outcomes that depend on other people. They try to manage reactions, predict decisions, prevent mistakes, and when those efforts fail, they feel frustrated, disappointed, or powerless. The Stoics saw a distinction that many people overlook. There is a difference between involvement and ownership. You can care about someone's future without owning it. You can offer guidance without carrying responsibility for the result. You can love someone deeply without believing their choices are yours to manage. The problem begins when these boundaries disappear, when another person's behavior starts determining your emotional state, when their growth becomes your project, when their mistakes feel like your personal burden. That is where suffering quietly enters. Not because life is unfair, but because you are demanding authority over something that was never yours. The truth is simple. You can influence. You cannot command. You can advise. You cannot decide. You can open a door. You cannot force someone to walk through it. The Stoic realization is not about becoming cold or detached. It is about seeing reality clearly. And reality is this: every human being must eventually choose their own path. No amount of effort can make that decision for them. The moment you accept that, something changes. The struggle begins to loosen its grip, and peace becomes possible again. Why letting go feels so hard? If letting go creates peace, why do so many people struggle to do it? Because letting go is not just an action. It is the loss of an identity. For years, some people have defined themselves as the helper, the protector, the problem solver, the one who always steps in. Without realizing it, their sense of purpose becomes tied to someone else's struggles. So when the time comes to step back, fear appears. What if things get worse? What if they make another mistake? What if nobody helps them? These questions feel responsible, but often they hide something deeper. The fear of not being needed. The fear of losing control. The fear of admitting that another person's life was never ours to manage in the first place. The mind prefers certainty, even exhausting certainty. Worry feels productive because it creates the illusion of involvement. Control feels safer than uncertainty, even when that control does not actually exist. This is why people cling to old patterns, not because they enjoy suffering, because the familiar often feels less frightening than the unknown. Yet growth rarely happens inside familiar territory. Sometimes the most courageous thing a person can do is trust reality enough to stop fighting it, to stop carrying responsibilities that belong to someone else, to stop believing that constant intervention is the same as love. Letting go is not abandonment. It is respect. Respect for another person's freedom, and respect for your own peace, returning to your own life. Something remarkable happens when your attention finally returns to where it belongs. At first, there is silence, a strange kind of emptiness. The mind no longer has someone else's decisions to analyze, no crisis to monitor, no behavior to correct, just space. For many people, that space feels uncomfortable, because they have spent so long focused outward that they have forgotten how to look inward. But if they stay with that discomfort, something begins to emerge. They notice neglected goals, unfinished projects, habits they promised themselves they would build, dreams that have been waiting quietly in the background for years. The energy was never gone. It was simply invested elsewhere. Now it starts coming back. Little by little, attention shifts toward health, discipline, learning, purpose, emotional stability. Instead of measuring success by another person's progress, they begin measuring it by their own actions. And unlike the struggle to change others, this effort produces visible results. Confidence grows, clarity grows, self-respect grows. Not overnight, but steadily. This is one of the most liberating lessons in Stoicism. The greatest transformation available to you is not the transformation of another person. It is your own. Because while you cannot control another mind, you can shape your character. And when your energy is finally directed toward what belongs to you, life begins moving forward again. In the end, the lesson is not really about other people. It is about where you choose to place your energy. For a long time, many people believe peace is waiting somewhere in the future, waiting for a difficult person to become easier, waiting for a loved one to make better decisions, waiting for someone to finally understand what they have been trying to say all along. But life has a way of teaching the same lesson over and over again. Peace cannot be built on conditions you do not control, not because other people do not matter, but because their choices belong to them. Their growth belongs to them. Their lessons belong to them. And your life belongs to you. There is something deeply freeing about accepting that truth. Not because it makes life perfect, but because it allows you to stop fighting battles that were never yours to win. The energy that once disappeared into worry can now be invested in character, in discipline, in purpose, in becoming someone stronger, calmer, and more grounded than you were yesterday. The Stoics understood that freedom begins the moment we stop demanding that reality follow our script, the moment we stop insisting that people become different before we allow ourselves to live fully. Because the truth is this: you do not need another person to change in order to find peace. You only need the courage to stop tying your peace to what was never yours to control. So, protect your attention, guard your mind, and remember, the quality of your life will always be shaped less by the people you try to change and more by the person you choose to become. If this message spoke to you, continue the journey. And until next time, take care of your mind, strengthen your character, and let life teach others the lessons that only life can teach.